The U.S. State Department said that the timing of Schmidt's trip was unhelpful. During Schmidt's visit to a North Korean university, one student demonstrated his knowledge of how to search the internet using Google. But with the exception of a tiny handful of top officials, North Koreans are only allowed to use a country's intranet, which blocks all outside traffic. For more on Schmidt's visit and what it means, we're joined by Andray Abrahamian. Andray is the executive director of Choson Exchange, an NGO that helps North Korean university students learn about business and finance. He joins us from Beijing. Andray, thanks for coming on the show.
I'm happy to be here.
So why do you think Eric Schmidt went along with the visit? I mean, was it just kind of a personal tour for him, or do you think he had a more serious purpose?
I think Schmidt's presence on the trip was twofold. First, this isn't really a Schmidt-led initiative. It's a delegation led by Bill Richardson, and he has a 20-year-plus relationship with the North Koreans. And the primary goal of the mission was to try to free Kenneth Bae, an American citizen who's currently being held in North Korea. So from their perspective, the inclusion of Schmidt made the delegation more attractive to the North Koreans, and also probably put some pressure on them to have a good result at the end of it. That ended up not happening. They didn't get to even meet with Kenneth Bae, much less free him. So from that perspective, the delegation was a failure. Also, Schmidt seems to have a personal interest in North Korea. He's very interested in the frontiers of information freedom. Google has a strong track record of promoting information openness, and North Korea is the most resistant place in the world to the sort of model that he envisions society taking. Another member of the delegation, Jared Cohen, is the head of Google Ideas, and along with Schmidt, those two are writing a book which comes out in April. So part of the trip for them might well have been research. They might have been interested to see this very unique and information-resistant place.
What's in it for the North Koreans?
Schmidt again raises the profile of the trip. And from a domestic propaganda point of view, they can say that one of the most important businessmen in the world has come to Pyongyang to marvel at the local system and the IT sector. And they can use it to talk about the expansion of the economy and links to the world, which is something that they've been speaking about more and more in the domestic press over the last year or two.
And why did the U.S. State Department frown on the visit?
From the State Department's perspective, Bill Richardson is potentially something of a maverick. He has his own relationship with the North Koreans that he has maintained for the past 20 years or so. So he's kept a fairly active back channel to Pyongyang. And so from their perspective, at a time when the South Korean government is in transition, when South Korea is joining the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member, or rather has just joined as a non-permanent member. They, I think, are concerned that Richardson will get into talks and start to perhaps promise things or suggest policy lines that they're not interested in pursuing. So this trip was out of State Department's control, and understandably, institutionally, that's not something that they're in favor of.
But isn't any sort of engagement with North Korea in the long-term interests of both the United States and the North Koreans?
Well, it depends on your perspective. It's something that I argue and my organization, Choson Exchange, is in favor of. But there are others who favor an approach to dealing with North Korea that's based upon sanctions and pressure and economic and political statecraft that seeks to isolate rather than engage. So there are two really diametrically opposed perspectives on that issue.
Great. Thanks so much, Andray. Andray Abrahamian is a Korea analyst and executive director of Choson Exchange. He spoke to us via Skype from Beijing.
U.S. airwaves, a global channel of uncompromising stories. World news, documentaries, entertainment, and culture. Link TV, connecting you to the world. For more information, visit linktv.org.